All right, we're here at Arcaro and Genell in the Takeaway Kitchen, the pizza capital of the world. Tara Machaca with us as we talk Marywood University women's basketball. And Tara, let's talk about this season. How are things going with the ladies?
It's getting better, and I think we started off kind of weren't really sure who we were going to get some leadership from and who we were going to get scoring from other than Gab. And I think over the last 6 or 7 games, Gabby's kind of changed her role a little bit, and Tasha and Alyssa and Katie Nealon have stepped up, and we've got some much more balanced scoring, which has helped us the last 6 games. We're on a 6-game winning streak. I think on the defensive end, it took us a while to buy into that gritty, hard-nosed, diving on the floor after loose balls. Who's going to step up and take charges? Us having to replace Alexa Gershman from last year, she did all that for us, and I think we're starting to slowly find some people that are doing that for us, which is helping us become more successful.
Talk about finding that, as you say, I guess kind of the identity of the team as the season starts out. You're in November, you're in the gym, you get a couple games under your belt, you go to December, then you get a break. You got to come back in January and pretty much say, okay, this is who we are.
Yeah, we had absolutely no idea what our identity was at the beginning of the year. And even probably 4 or 5 games into the season, we went into that cross-county challenge and we won 2 big games with against Kings and Wilkes, and that helped us confidence-wise, but it still didn't help us develop what we were about as a team. And I think we're just slowly starting to again buy into. All of my teams have always been built on defense and rebounding, and that's what we take pride in, and we're slowly starting to come into that and kind of building that identity on the defensive end, but then also trying to figure out that we're getting some scoring from multiple people now on the offensive end, which is helping.
A couple different conferences here in northeastern Pennsylvania with Division III basketball. You got the Landmark, got the CSAC that you're in. You got the Freedom Conference. Talk about what kind of athlete you're getting out of the CSAC and what you're facing day in and day out when you're playing some of these teams.
I think we're very, very similar to the Freedom. I would say the Landmark is a little bit of a different type of athlete, but I think academically and athletically, the profile is very, very similar with both conferences. I think our conference, the CSAC, is probably a little bit more Philly-based kids than the MAC is, but we're kind of different. We're the outlier, I guess, because we do have a lot of local players, not really many Philly players. So I think it's been great for us with the local players on our team, and we've had much success with it. So we're building our own identity within our conference.
One game at a time approach. Let's talk about the next opponent and what you're going to face, a big challenge.
Yeah, tomorrow night we have Glen and Mercy. We're tied for first with them right now in our conference, and it's always a big rival between us and Glen. Last year we beat them twice, and the final game that we beat them was for us to secure the #1 seed. So I'm sure they have a lot of revenge on their mind coming back up to our place. This year we only get them once, and we get them tomorrow. So we've got to take advantage of the fact that the one time we get them at home. Obviously playing at home gives you a little bit of that edge and fan support, not having to travel. But we've got to come out and we've got to do a really, really good job defensively. They're very, very fast. Their guards put it on the floor and drive it to the basket hard, and we've got to do a better job of closing off gaps on defense, taking care of the basketball, and then at home you got to knock down shots.
Well, let's hope you're able to knock down those shots with this team tomorrow and, of course, for the rest of the season. And we appreciate you coming out. Great to chat with you as always.
Thank you so much for having us. I appreciate it.
Natasha Hessling joining us here at Arcaro and Genell, the Takeaway Kitchen. And Natasha, let's talk about this team. Tied for first, a great year so far. And Coach mentioned in the beginning of the year, kind of trying to find that identity. How about for you as a player, trying to figure out some of that, what it was like to kind of get along with everybody and say, okay, this is what we need to do?
Yeah, coming in, we didn't really know, because we're a young team, we didn't really know our identity. Losing a captain last year, 4 seniors, it's hard as a young team, but we were all really close. And I knew my role as a big post. I had to come in and step up, even though I'm not that tall, but I had to fill the role of being center, so that was a little difficult, but yeah.
How about some of that competition you're playing in the CSAC? Talk about the bigs, I guess. What's it like going against some of them?
It's hard sometimes. A lot of them are 6 foot, 6'1", and a lot taller than me. So I have to be a lot more aggressive, push them around, and they push right back. So it can get difficult. It's very physical, very aggressive.
Overall, what do you like about this team that you have? Talk about some of the guard play that you're getting.
Well, we have Gab, who controls the floor a lot, which is really good. Katie steps up as a junior. She's a good captain. She tells us what we need to do. She's a good leader.
How about for you choosing Marywood University? Talk about some of the positives that you really like and things you like about Coach Pachaco.
I really like Marywood. It's very like a close-knit community on campus. They have excellent academics. Coach is great. She helps us with everything, not just basketball. If we ever need to talk to her, we can just go into her office and talk to her about school or anything we need. She's a great coach. She's always there for us. She'll take us like whenever we need to like go to the doctor or anything. She's very good to us.
When it is next, let's talk a little bit about what you expect out of that team.
Well, they're gonna come for us since we beat them twice last year. There's a rivalry between us. They're very aggressive always, so that'll be fun. I always like that.
Well, should be great competition, and expectations going forward is kind of keep battling for first, right?
Yep, take it one game at a time. You know, tied for first right now is awesome. So hopefully we can win it off tomorrow. So.
Well, we wish you well, and thank you for coming to Arcaro and Genell.
Thank you.
We're with Alyssa Olson from the Marywood University women's basketball team. Alyssa, let's talk about your role on the team. What does Coach expect of you every time you hit the floor?
Well, originally I didn't know exactly how my role was going to play out this season. I had kind of a tough season last year. I wasn't really scoring as much as I should have and everything. My defense wasn't very strong, but this season I think that a huge role is definitely scoring, making sure that my defense is good, good help defense, stuff like that.
Out there on the floor, let's talk about the way you're winning games. You're winning games in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. What kind of point production are you getting out of your team?
What exactly do you mean by that? Like, what's the point?
Are you getting a lot of points every game? Does it vary every game? Like you're winning games 59, 57, or you're winning games 75 to 72?
It's more so probably varying. I mean, like, the past couple games we've been on a pretty good streak, and we've been getting higher points each game, but it's been varying, more so on the higher.
Let's talk about some of the players that are on the court that are helping you out there at Marywood that aren't here tonight.
Jordan has been doing an excellent job with getting those offensive rebounds and helping us with that. And so is Natasha Hessling. She's been doing a great job with offensive rebounds. And even Katie. I mean, Katie is like 5'2", 5'3", and she's been even getting offensive rebounds, which is a huge help.
Coach Pachaco, talk about her mindset going in and game out, breaking down film, scouting reports, all that stuff. She seems like she's pretty thorough on the outside. What's it like to be on the inside like you?
She does put a lot into each and every game, and it does make us play very well. She sends us quotes every game, make sure that we're on the ball with everything, make sure we're all on the same page, which is awesome, and I just love playing for her. She's an awesome coach.
And choosing Marywood University, talk about what you really like about it, whether it's academics, athletics, or the combination of both.
I would say probably the combination of both. I love playing basketball. I love playing for this team. We actually became more of a team as the season went on because we had a little rough spot in the beginning, but also academics too. It's a great college. I love the marketing program and everything, and I think I'll get a lot out of it too.
Well, we wish you well the rest of this season and, of course, in your future endeavors, okay?
Thank you.
We're here at the Takeaway Kitchen. Gab Giordano joining us from Marywood University women's basketball. And Gab, let's talk about a sophomore now. How about wearing those same colors, wearing green again, from Holy Cross over to Marywood? What's that transition been like?
It's definitely a more fast-paced game and, obviously different coaches and style than I had in high school.
You having fun with this group of girls?
Yeah, of course.
Talk about being a college athlete. What's that changeover like from high school?
A lot more responsibilities, especially when it comes to like practice time and when you have to be there and watching more film. In high school, the coaches kind of watched film and then kind of relayed that message to you. Where in college, we watch a lot of film ourselves and kind of talk to coach about what we saw and things like that.
How about being an athlete? Watching you over the years at Holy Cross, it just seemed like, you just love competing and being out there on the court. But now, as you say, taking things to another level where you're watching the other team, you're watching yourselves on film, you're doing all the little things, and you get to learn from a player. Coach Pachaco played at Penn State, so somebody who played at a high level, what's that like to kind of get that cerebral part of the game?
Yeah, I think it's like a huge learning experience, and it shows me watching myself play from high school and last year and games early in the season. You learn a lot from seeing that, and coach is always like correcting us and showing us things that we could have done better, or we're always meeting with her and, you know, trying to learn things we can do better.
How about the academic part? Talk about what your major is and what you're enjoying so far. You kind of delved into some of that stuff so far.
I was a pre-med major actually, and I just switched this past semester to exercise science, so I haven't really gotten into a lot with that yet, but I enjoy that. I wanted to have to get my CS at some point, so I think that'll help.
Pretty good program there at Marywood.
Yeah.
How about some of the teammates you're playing with? I know we talked with some of these ladies. How about some of the other girls this year that are playing at Marywood that you're saying, okay, these girls are growing?
Yeah, I mean, the 3 freshmen that came in, Erica, Lexi, Jordan, they have all stepped up and played huge roles this year. I mean, Jordan actually worked her way to a starting position as a freshman, doing great things. Both Erica and Lexi are doing great things off the bench, and they just kind of came right in the beginning and gelled with us and grew with us and learned with us, so I think it was a good fit for them.
How about the fit for you? Everybody's got to find the right fit for them and in college, and I'm sure you kind of looked and said, okay, if I go here, if I go there. Talk about something that's kind of right in the backyard.
Yeah, it was funny. My mom graduated from Marywood, and I always said, you know, Mom, like, I want to go away. I don't want to be here. And then after looking at schools and going through the whole recruiting process and everything, I went to Marywood, and I was like, you know, I feel the most comfortable here. Like, this is definitely somewhere that I see myself in the future. So it was an easy decision.
Let's talk about the matchup against Gwinnett. What are you expecting there? A good basketball team, a team you beat twice last year, but hey, it's a new year, and they could do the same. But again, a one-game approach.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that's all we've been focusing on since Cabrini. Really looking at it, we definitely have to have a huge defensive game. They're really good, you know, driving to the basket, driving kick. They're a really fast team, and it's not a team we can get foul trouble with. So it should be a good game.
Well, we wish you well in your future endeavors, and thank you for coming out tonight.
All right, thank you.